sports fans out there in the Tubosphere. Welcome to Final Four Saturday, the one-man sports rant. I am your host, Will, the alternative ESPN. I can't palm a ball at 6'3". It's not easy for 6'3" guys to palm a ball. Alright, whatever. Alright, one of the greatest days in all of American sports we're talking about. So I'm going to ask Kim-Pak, who's going to win each respective game and so forth and so on. I'm going to cut to the chase, try to make this show very short. Don't change the channel, it's only going to be 3 minutes. You'll understand why here towards the end. You see from our Pi Kappa, Alpha, House Sweethearts, U of U chapter, Alpha Tau, giving you props. Alright, so save the comments for the actual sporting event we're able to bring in, because we're able to bring you longer bit clips than those 30-second things running around all over YouTube. Why? Because we do a show. Why do we have to do a show? 2 years ago, this was so much easier. This is not my first choice. And by the way, we all agree here on the OMSR, there is a we. I know it sounds like a misnomer, but we're all former football or basketball, mostly in college players, and a few Marine Corps recon. So if you wouldn't say flip comments to our face, and I'm pretty sure that's the case, don't do it from the safety of your computer. It's not going to make it anyway. Save it for the actual sporting event. The reason being, we do a show, something called the DMCA or DCMA. It goes by either acronym, Digital Copyright Millennium Act. And in order to do anything longer, especially with regard to professional sports, the NCAA, they became fanatical as of last year. Anything longer than even 20 seconds. Minimal use, fair use standard, derivatives, and so forth and so on. Alright, so, on that note, this show is copyrighted to the OMSR. Brief video highlights courtesy to CBS and the NCAA. The OMSR does not own these video highlights, but does own all the other original content, the overall concept here and thereof, therefore, most rights reserved. Alright, I'm not going to go into all the other explanatory stuff. We're getting close to 400 shows here, and there's plenty of other things on there I'm sure some of you might be interested in. Kim-Pak, our oracle to the sports gods after the baseball show, he's now 19-4. All 4 is due to college basketball. He's kind of sucked. Alright, so we're going to ask him 2 questions, yes and no. I'll explain a little bit about the I Ching as we go along. 1,300-year-old Buddha statue from Cambodia in the Angkor Wat style. It's like an aura about him. It's kind of cool, fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously here. It's like why I was talking to those would-be comment posters about how your show's a joke and whatnot. It's like, seriously? Let me talk like Jack Carter here from Eureka. Seriously? You think we're taking this seriously? It's only because we're forced to do this. Alright. I mean, some of it's cool. And go. Got our Shinto bell, and go. Hey, Kim-Pak. Final Four Saturday. We have upstart Wichita State. Can they get to the championship game versus Louisville? And then we have Syracuse, Michigan.
Been the most consistent offensive player for Syracuse all season. Marked in 15 to 20 points and 7 to 10 rebounds just about every game.
Williams short with the 3. Southgate grabs it, goes with it.
This is where I think you can attack the zone if you handle it.
Hardaway gives it up to McGarry.
The zone defense doesn't exist if you beat it down the floor.
Rich in the lane, gave it up. With the rebound. How about the Michigan bench now? Have come out here and scored 10 points.
Well, the first, the 2 threes. He made 11 three-pointers all season. You imagine a little bit of Tim Henderson in the first game coming in and knocking down a couple shots out of nowhere.
Aldrich off the bench with a 3. And he too contributes to the Wolverines call. The Michigan bench with 13 of their 24. 3 of the 4 to either 50 points or fewer, including 39 total to Marquette.
I thought the matchups have been really good for Syracuse to this point. Indiana with very small guards. Marquette, no three-point shooting. It's a different deal. Hey, I want to give Syracuse some credit. And when you shoot that poorly, there's some self-check going on, too. Teams are missing some shots. They are terrific defensively, but some of that has been the offense of those other opponents.
Boom!
My goodness! Got rebounds there. Going to have to make some defense.
Here's a look at the first half stats presented by Coke Zero. That bench is a big part of the story for Louisville's win in the
Wow,
first
check
game.
that out. In a Final Four game, that's unheard of.
Field goal by the bench.
I'm looking at the turnovers here.
+9 bench scoring edge.
5 total? Wow.
Well, John Beilein a moment ago was meeting with his assistants, including Bakari Alexander. Let's listen in.
We're doing a particularly good job, Coach, at rebounding with 2 hands. That's getting us out in transition. Obviously, the swing action, they're really scratching their heads on. As long as we continue to have good footwork, keep emphasizing good footwork in the high post, we can get it whatever we like.
It was a great pivot he made.
That was.
He hasn't done that in two days, and he just did it perfect
My heart
time.
did a dance.
Yeah.
So Michigan feeling pretty good about things here after the first 20 minutes.
As well they should.
Yeah.
They assisted on 11 of the made three-point baskets, and it was Hardaway Jr. and McGarry with 4 each.
Take a look at what the Wolverines did in so many different ways, led by Mitch McGarry.
He had 4 assists, one of them right there to Karis LeVert. Here he is in transition, finding Hardaway Jr. And you can execute all you want, but you still have to knock down shots. They made 2 30-footers in the first half. And that's why I think Syracuse, we heard the guys talking at halftime, I don't think Syracuse changed because of that C.J. Fair matchup. The problem is you give up an awful lot offensively now, and so you've got to figure out a way to score. Normally you've got 4 shooters around McGarry. Morgan really not a factor. Trey Burke, because he lacks
Steve, you were watching earlier in the year.
not even looking to try to penetrate that.
He was a big part of Michigan.
Do more of that.
I will not let Steve, Chicago Bulls curve, talk smack about Tracy Morgan.
Well, it looked like Syracuse was going to come out of there with a rebound, but next thing you know, it's McGarry taking it back outside, and Hardaway breaks Michigan's 4.5-minute scoring drought.
Another rebound, another assist for McGarry, working on a triple-double.
Tita off the glass.
Nice execution by Syracuse, and they're having their way inside now. That's the difference. Points in the paint. Michigan struggling to knock down perimeter shots, and Syracuse within 5. Trey Burke really on his heels. Got to look to try to turn that corner and get into the seams of that defense. And when he does, he's got to be thinking pass. Stay on the ground, draw defenders, and make a solid pass.
Then over to Hardaway. Downtown, no. McGarry keeps it going. That hit the back of the backboard. Inside 8 minutes. Bear up and over 2. And again, trying to hurry down the floor.
Good transition beat. Excellent transition beat. Excellent. It starts with really sprinting back so you can get below the line of the ball and then matching up right away.
Wow. Look at all this.
Trying to get around Hardaway.
Great sequence.
How about the recovery on this zone?
What's up? No.
He's an excellent three-point shooter, right around 40%. Can't be disappointed with that shot attempt for a three-point shooter of his talent.
How fast Robinson able to get there.
Well, Michigan's trying to sit on this thing, and they're doing it too early. They have to continue to attack for score.
Burke. And that was intended for McGarry.
And that's the one you just shoot. Pull up and shoot, because if you miss, McGarry's got an easy putback. Exactly. And you nailed it a minute ago, Clark. They're trying to take the air out of the ball, but they have to attack this pressure.
Boom!
Getting on the board right there.
Dramatically.
Back on the line. Sutherland almost got it right back to it. This is a guy who scored 35 in a game against Arkansas this year.
McGarry just getting out of the way. Smart play at this stage. No need for a three-point play.
It's exactly the same. The last minute. Couldn't hit the free throw.
Did not make foul shots.
Game that came down to a ball rolling off the rim at the end. Did not drop the Michigan, gave Indiana the regular season conference title.
Talk about Chris Webber a little bit there as well.
Championship game. And Burke gets the second one.
All right, Syracuse, what are we going to do? One timeout, no timeouts for Michigan. Okay, here we go. Oh, dude, you can't do that. Fuck. Pardon my French. It's one time in the OMSR, we're going to allow that to go through. I don't care what you say, Lee and Robbie. What was he thinking? It's the Final Four. I can say it. You see.
And took it right in the chest.
I didn't say double hockey sticks in the K form. Skis doing Winter X trick.
Damn! How hard he's worked, and it pays off. A big moment here for Morgan.
Yeah.
Defensively now, if you're Michigan.
You know, he didn't have it going on all game. What was he thinking? Pass it off. Hello. And Steve Kerr talked about Tracy Morgan earlier. Hello. Yeah. What's he got to say to him about now?
Without puts it up wildly off the rim, and into the arms of Hardaway. He'll do it to the break. Off the half to Morgan, and the game will end. Basically on that touch right there. Michigan on its way to the championship game.
Fantastic games Saturday night at the Final Four in Atlanta. Wichita State in Louisville. Syracuse in Michigan. Neither game disappointing in terms of dramatics. Hi, welcome inside Sports Center alongside Chris Cotter. I'm Robert Flores. The Final Four is cut in half, and we're fully loaded for Monday's title game.
The top two conferences in college basketball equally represented. For starters, we sent it to Atlanta and our Final Four crew, anchored by Reese Davis.
Final Four hitting Atlanta for the fourth time. Third time inside the Georgia Dome, and neither national semifinal on Saturday night was decided by more than 5 points. The national title game is set. It will be the Cardinals of Louisville taking on Michigan after both teams were able to survive. Reese Davis, Jay Williams, Dick Vitale, and Seth Greenberg here. We'll have plenty of reaction to the game, show you the highlights as well. I want to take you right now to the Georgia Dome and the post-game news conferences where Syracuse's Jim Boeheim is speaking.
I thought we got off to a really bad start defensively in the first half. We just didn't have the movement that we've had, and Michigan took advantage of it. Our offense was not good in the first half or the second half. Second half, we got our defense going a lot better and got back in the game in spite of our offense. But when it was 8, I thought we just did an unbelievable job of getting back in it and giving ourselves a chance. And that's all you can ask for in that situation when you're down 8, to be able to make that kind of a move back. I was really proud of these
obviously,
guys.
but a big factor was the way Mitch McGarry was so active, not only in getting rebounds, but keeping possessions alive time and time again for the Wolverines. What did you think of his play?
I thought he was so active throughout the game, Reese. He did a great job of running the floor. The first few possessions, he blocked 2 shots, really made his presence felt in the ballgame on the defensive end and on the glass. He wound up with 12 rebounds, 5 of them on the offensive end, and some of the rebounds that he didn't grab, he was able to keep alive so his teammates could grab them. And when he got the ball in the middle of the zone, especially in the first half, he made really smart plays.
Boy, that's
he had 6 assists
really
in the ball
weird
game.
3-second delay going on. You hear that in the background?
exceptionally well. And he even did a good job in the second half. He just wasn't able to knock some shots down in the second half. And I think Michigan's offense really slowed down. Now, you can attribute that to the improvement in Syracuse's defense in the second half. But I thought Jim Boeheim in his press conference really hit the nail on the head, that Syracuse's defense was good enough to win. They held a very good Michigan team to 61 points. The problem was they only scored 56 themselves. And that was really the issue, is when you have James Sutherland and Michael Carter-Williams combining for 3 of 15 from the field, you're probably not going to win, especially against a team that could score as effectively as Michigan can. I thought it just came down to Syracuse's offensive issues, the fact that they are not a great shooting team. It caught up with them in this ball game, and their defense couldn't save the day.
Jay, what does it say about Michigan that the Wooden Award winner, Trey Burke, could have one field goal, not as many as Spike Albrecht or Karis LeVert, who came off the bench and gave Michigan a huge lift? What does it say about Michigan being able to find offense in unexpected places?
I think it was a consistent theme in the first game between Louisville and Wichita State and the second game between Syracuse and Michigan, that the winning teams, Louisville in the first one and Michigan in the second, found other performers that were going to take over the reins and perform at a high level. You saw Luke Hancock play extraordinarily well in that first ball game. Tim Henderson came in off the bench when Louisville was down 12 and knocked down 2 big threes to cut that lead in half and get Louisville within striking distance. In the first half for Michigan against Syracuse, Karis LeVert knocked down 2 threes. Spike Albrecht knocked down 2
all
threes.
of us,
And
you ever heard that phrase? Yeah, is there an echo?
Shots.
Tim
And,
Allen?
you know, usually you have to look at the officials go to the monitor to look and see if a three-point shot on the three-point line. When Spike Albrecht and Trey Burke in that first half took a couple of threes, they had to look at the monitor to see if there was a backcourt violation, see if they stepped on the midcourt line they shot from so deep. But those guys did tremendous jobs in the first half to help the Michigan offense to put up 36 points against Syracuse in the first half was really remarkable. When the last time they played, they held Marquette to 39 total. That's a pretty good offensive performance in that first half for Michigan, and I attribute it to their really good passing. They did not turn the ball over. They got a shot every time down, and that really was the difference. Their ability to knock down threes, 6 in the first half, 2 in the second, for a total of 8. That was the difference in the game, because Syracuse just could not score at a high level.
I'm not suggesting one play loses or wins a game, but I would be doing America a disservice if I didn't ask you, Mr. Billis, do you have a charge or block on the Brandon Trish play late in the game?
The one with Jordan Morgan, there's no question it was a block. It was a clear block. It was clear live action. It was even more clear on the replay. And it just shows it was a blarge, let's put it that way. They should have called a blarge. It wasn't even close. It was a block.
Michigan. So I'm going to ask, with regard to Syracuse, Michigan, who's going to win? Since we're partial to Syracuse, I'm going to ask the opposite. That's how it is in the EJ. When you throw down those coins, you have to ask a question that sort of like leads to an answer maybe you don't want to hear. That way the outcome, you can't be accused of, well, that's what you wanted to hear because that's what you asked in the first place. So, what are the chances Michigan's going to win? Got our EJ magic dice. Wait till all the dice show up, and then I'll go through the math. Oh, I don't like the looks of that at all. 6, 4, 3. That's 13 times 10. It's 130 divided by the number of dice. 3. So 130 divided by 3. So we'll give it 44. 44-ish. 43.5. We'll give it 44. Plus the number of dice, 3. So that's 47. Plus the number it adds up to. Again, I got to go through this. I always script the math, however simple this is. 13. So, what is it? 40, I have to go through it again. 13, times 10, 130, divided by 3 is 45, plus the number of dice, it's 48, plus 13, that's 63%. 63% chance Kim-Pak said Michigan's going to win. And we're Syracuse, we bleed orange around here. I don't like the looks of that. Okay. Fine. He is what he is. With regard to Louisville, Wichita State, I don't have a preference per se here. What are the chances Wichita State will continue to run a la how Florida Gulf Coast was doing it? So again, just so I know, we're talking about what the chances Wichita State is going to be Louisville. I'd like to think, you know, it's probably going to be pretty slim. 2, 4, and 3. So that's 6, that's 9. Times 10, that's 90. Divided by 3, that's 30. Already you know it's bad. Plus the number of dice, it's 33. Plus the number, it adds up to 39% chance. So it sounds like you're going to get Louisville versus Michigan is what Kim-Pak is saying. Alright. Hey, thanks for watching. Just a reminder, you know, no silly DUIs while you're celebrating all the sports out there. And the OMSR will continue to bring things as they may come up. NBA playoffs, as I was alluding to with professional sports leagues, they're like fanatical now. It's very difficult to show anything beyond, you know, 30 seconds, but we will do our best. All right, later days, more signature play.